It has been a while since I have gone thrifting, and I've been thinking about making like a wish list of things that I want to find for this year. So I thought by taking a little bit of time to look around the store, it could help me come up with a little bit of a list of things to look for this year. Now, one of the things I like to get at the thrift store is puzzles, and over the years, I've realized that Ravensburger and Cobble Hill are two of my favorite brands. I find the quality is really great, and I'm always on the lookout for those two brands, and there was none of them today, so we're going to move on. Something that I'm wanting to look for more as the year continues is little items for decorating on tiered trays, and this leprechaun was a perfect example. I looked at it, it's from Michael's, and it reminded me about how much their quality has gone down because they just don't sell little items like this that you would want to bring out from year to year. He's kind of cute, but I'm not too sure about it, and usually they have shelves with certain themes. Obviously for March, green, St. Patrick's Day, spring, Easter. And there was something about this little guy that kind of like made me think I might want to get him. So what I do is I put him in my cart, I walk around the store, and then before I go to leave, I kind of reevaluate everything. Now, whenever you're looking for these little trinkets, you have to be very careful because you can get caught up with just wanting to purchase something. And I just really want to make sure that it's something that I'd want to bring out from year to year that really represents what I'm decorating for. This is kind of an example. Like, I thought it was kind of cute, maybe spring, but not really what I'm looking for. So you just have to be very careful that you don't get caught up with just wanting to buy something. But part of thrifting is looking for that specific hard to find item that you just can't get in the stores anymore. This caught my eye, pumpkin spice everything, because I love pumpkin spice in the fall. But I really feel like when you look at pictures, it really shows you how decor changes, what is a fad, what holds up to the test of time. And I was looking at some of the bigger pictures here because I'm looking for a couple of things for my wall, but I really have given up finding anything at the thrift store. And then this one kind of caught my eye because this is definitely how I used to decorate my home. And it says, read me a bedtime story. So you would have had that up in the nursery or in, the child's room. I could have grown with them for a few years. And white dishes is something I have thrifted over the years, and I don't find anything anymore. This plate kind of caught my eye, just one simple plate with a little bit of green trim. I know some people like to have a variety of dishes, but I think the white is something I've kind of given up on, and I've been able to find a lot of new pieces at IKEA that are actually a little bit more affordable and really more of what I'm looking for. Now, I do take a little bit of time to look at coffee mugs. I'm always looking for that perfect mug. They have a Starbucks one here, and I'm looking at $6 for a used mug. I just think it's a little bit too pricey, but there's always certain ones that I'm just kind of looking to see if they catch my eye, or ones that we've had over the years that have broken and seeing if I can replace them. Now, this one, $5.99 for 3 mugs, I think is a little bit more realistic of what you would pay for something. These ones were kind of cute too, but the handle was a little bit too small. And then I kind of caught my eye was this mug here, the Friends mug. And now I remember one Christmas, my mom gave my husband and I each a mug like this, and my husband's has broken over the years, and it was like Born to Serve because he was in the military. So that was interesting. Same with baskets. I think you can get caught up with like, oh, this is a really cute basket. I was looking for something for a specific area that I just decluttered, and I really went through them. I had a couple of them in my cart, and I was trying to figuring out if it was something I really wanted to do. T-shirts is something else that I look at every once in a while because there's certain ones that my husband likes that you just can't find anymore. I'm also looking for a napkin holder. And I thought maybe I could find something here. I haven't really looked in the stores, but I thought it might be fun to see if I can find something that kind of fits what I'm looking for. Now, this kind of caught my eye. It's just a wooden one with the holder on top for $3. I think it's reasonable, but I'm just not sure it's exactly what I'm looking for. So I think I'm just going to leave it on the shelf. And since I just started looking, I don't want to buy the first thing that I see. And I definitely want to have a little bit of joy looking for the proper one. And then I always take a little look at certain items. Like this was something I actually had, the Pioneer Women bowls. I just didn't find it worked for me. Like they were measuring bowls, but I had to say goodbye to them. And it was one of those things that I bought because it was one of the least expensive items and I just wanted to buy something that day. And same with this here, like looking for Pyrex or a certain Pioneer Woman plate that I thrifted years ago. And I never have really found anything ever since. And then I did end up thrifting a Pyrex casserole dish. And I just don't really know if it's something that I want to purchase again. Another thing I really enjoy about thrifting is when you see an item that sparks a memory, and that is exactly what this electric frying pan did. My mother had a few of these over the years, and I just remembered like coming home in the kitchen and lifting up the lid to see what was for dinner. And it was something I forgot all about until I saw that electric frying pan. I'm also keeping an eye out for a coffee maker that we had years and years ago that made the best coffee. And my husband said maybe we should keep an eye out because we might find one someday, but none today. And then I also want to take a little look at the bags just to see if there's any other little trinkets in here. But you can really get caught up with these bags, and sometimes they're really expensive for what is in them. But they did have a few little figures here, so I just wanted to take a look to see what there was. And then I realized that they had some of the little ones that I showed you in the last video for February, those little figurines that were in the tea boxes. And here they are. $6.99 for 2 figures and 3 figures in them. A little bit pricey, but it also makes me really appreciate the ones that were my grandmother's, then my mother's, and now mine that are going to be passed on to my daughter. I always stop and take a little peek at the cookbooks too. I know there's a few Pioneer Woman ones that I don't have. I don't even know how many I don't have, but I always like to take a look. And over the years, I found a couple that I thought would be nice to have, but cookbooks are kind of like Decor. They really show the fads. And I think as somebody that always struggled with my weight too, you would see a lot of the fad diets that, you know, somebody thought this is it. This is the way of eating that's going to finally make me lose weight. But there's a reason why they are on the shelves. I'm also looking for a specific blanket. Over the years, our son has grown attached to a certain comforter and it got really worn, and I was able to find another one to replace it. And I just thought I'd take another look because with his autism and change of routine, you know, when we go to sleep away for the night, it's always nice to have that one thing that lets him know it's going to be bedtime. So I thought, you know what, it might not hurt. Maybe I'll find another one. And I'm also looking for blankets just to kind of go on our ottoman. I've kind of changed up a few things of how I decorate my home, and there's a certain material that I'm looking for because we put our feet up on it and then our dog lays on it too. So instead of having a coffee table, we kind of have an all-purpose ottoman. I don't think I'm going to have much luck, but it's still nice to take a look. And I don't look for a lot of clothing, but one thing I do look for is work shirts for my husband. Over the years, I've been able to get some really high quality ones, and I've become a little bit more selective now. Now at Christmas time, we were able to gift him some really nice shirts this year with really great sales and really high quality, but I still like to take a look, and what I'm looking for is a really nice thick cotton. He also likes the buttons at the collars, so whenever I see something, I always, like this one had a really nice thick cotton feel. It had the buttons, but it was a size too big, so I'm going to leave that here. But I always take a look, and I just find I just don't have the luck that I used to. And then the other thing I'm always looking for is Northern Reflections tops for my mom, because the ones from years ago is what she always wore, and they just don't make them like that anymore. And I remember one day I went in the winter when she needed a bunch of new shirts, and I found about 10 of them that were in like new condition, and she's worn them all winter. And I'm just going to take one last little look around the store, and the only thing that really kind of triggered maybe I should be looking for some vases is a gift I got for Valentine's Day. My husband gave me the Lego roses, and I'm really thinking it might be nice to have maybe a couple of them on the shelf in case I get, you know, Mother's Day or for Easter or the changing of the seasons. So I'm not going to jump and buy one today, but I think it'd be really interesting to take a look to see what is on the shelves from, you know, every time I go to the thrift store. So I think that's it for today, and I'll share with you what I got at the store and what I think should go on my wish list for thrifting in 2025. This was the only thing that I purchased, and I just couldn't leave him at the store because I knew I would regret it. And this is exactly what I'm looking for, is just little items that tell you exactly what the holiday season is. And I just know that these are really hard to find. And I think that's part of what thrifting is finding items from years ago that you just can't get anymore. And I think I'm gonna love bringing this little guy out every year. And he was $5. I felt that was reasonable because I just know it's so hard to find any little items like this. So here is my hutch. Once we get past Easter, then I put out my decor that stays up until August. But there is my little leprechaun. I went down and got one of my tiered trays. I hope he has some other little items here to keep him company, but like I said, I'm not going to rush and just buy things for the sake of buying them. I really want them to make a difference. So I think I'm just going to leave him here for the rest of March and see if we find any little friends. I really don't know how much thrifting I'm going to do, but I just find in January, February, and March and Easter, it's nice to have those little seasonal items because I don't do a lot of big decorating for those times of the year. I do for fall and also for Christmas, and I also do sunflowers, so I could be looking for some little things that have sunflowers in them too. So anyways, I think he is really cute, and I hope I can find some more items over the next year to add to my little tiered tray collection. I just decided to do a brain dump of like a thrifting wish list. So the puzzles, those are the ones I'm always looking for. Same with clothes. I don't thrift a lot of clothes, but those are the 3 specific items that I'm looking for. The small items for the tiered tray, you know, the duck. I really like to get a little something for duck in spring, St. Patrick's Day, February, winter. Add sunflowers too. The mug, Born to Serve, the napkin holder, and the Pioneer Woman stuff. I'm going to share with you a shelf. I've been working on decluttering a little bit, and I do pretty much have kind of a dedicated Pioneer Woman shelf, so I thought I'd share it with all of you. I have been decluttering, and I just don't know what the shelf is going to look like in the future. We do want to do like a partial renovation of our kitchen, update our cupboards, and I would like to have a good kitchen cupboard here, so I really don't know what the future is going to hold, but I do know that these are my Pioneer Woman items that I like. So a cookie jar, Charlie, her dog was Charlie, we had a Charlie. He has since passed, but when I saw this, I bought it, and we used to keep the dog's cookies in here, and like it's been cracked and broken, but it's just something that always stays on the shelf, and it has happy memories. Someone gave me these Pioneer Woman plates, and I use them whenever I make like one of her dinners to kind of put on, and I like them. This I thrifted. It was a great find. I use it all of the time, and I think that's what's made me like keep an eye out for dishes. My napkins, I'd like to get a holder. I'm not going to rush out and get one, but maybe I'll find a Pioneer Woman one. These are her cookbooks. I have 5 of them. I don't even know how many she has. Some other cookbooks I've thrifted, and then these are my cookbooks. You'll see them a lot in my videos and cooking, and everything is on this one shelf. And I also have some other cookbooks, but they're going to be in a separate place where I can pull them out whenever I need them, but these are the ones I like to have on display. I just did a Google search and found all of the Pioneer Woman cookbooks, so there's 8 of them. I have 5, so there's 3 of them that I don't have, so those are the titles. And this is the Pioneer Woman tablecloth. I've had it for years. I got it at Walmart. I love it. I kind of change my tablecloths up now, and every time I put this on, it brings me joy. I just really like it. But I would love to have a backup in case this one got ripped or stained and I can't buy them anymore. So those are one of those things that I like to look for when I am thrifting. Same with the coffee maker and the blankets. Our son, like I was able to find that blanket for him, and then blankets for the ottoman. Kind of goes with baskets and vases too. And I'll show you what I mean whenever I say that I'm looking for baskets. The bottom of that shelf, I have an empty space, and I was looking for a basket, and that's what I was taking some time to look at the thrift store to see if there was one I could find, and I just didn't find any that I felt like were up to what I was looking for. And then I remembered that, you know, I have some at home, so I went and I looked and I found this one, and it's just kind of a catch-all, like a glass case, scissors, a hair clip, just some change, roll up the rim to win. There's a paper clip in here. I was looking for an elastic the other day, and that's where I would put them, kind of a junk drawer. And I'd like to have some extra baskets and vases to, you know, pull them out whenever I need them. And sometimes when you're looking for something, it's really hard to find it. But when you're just out one day and you see something that catches your eye, it's nice to have a little place to put all of these things. So whenever you change things up or you feel like you need something to organize or decorate with, it's nice to go where all of your items are and pull them out and then be able to freshen up your space with using what you have in your home. And this is the ottoman that I was talking about. I have this tray, I purchased it, and when I went to decorate, I pulled this basket. We just keep like lotion, there's glasses in here, nail clippers, my glue for my nail if it falls off, some chapstick, a pen, hair elastic, and just some flowers, like dried flowers that were up on my nightstand. And then I moved everything around and it kind of freshened it up. And then this blanket, it's a little bit softer than what I want up here because we do like put our feet up. It's not really a coffee table, it's more like a footstool, and then Linus lays on it sometimes. But this is the blanket material that I really like. I use this for Christmas, and then I also use it for Valentine's Day. So I'm trying to find more of this kind of fabric because I do find like on this one here, when we put our feet up, it kind of wears. So that's why I want to kind of keep an eye out for all of the different colors that I decorate with. So when I started decluttering in February, this is really what I was trying to do, is I was trying to make space, get organized so I can change up my decor, have certain staple pieces that I can kind of switch things up, and whenever I need to freshen up a space, I can come down and get what I need. So, you know, I have my little rabbit here with his little rubber boots. I have some things that I change out, some things that I don't want to get rid of. This is all of the items for my tiered tray that I do in the fall, and I really want to add to them, but it does take time. I just can't find the things like I used to. In certain times of the year, there's not a lot of decor, but when it comes to fall and Christmas, there's always a lot. And then I have everything organized, and then I do have a lot of fall stuff. You know, I have like my Hello Spring mug, all of the Starbucks mugs. We're not ready to say goodbye to them. And then I have my mom mug, so I bring that out in the month of May. My Canada one, I use that in the month of July for Canada Day. And then I have lots of fall items. So it's always, you know, looking for those little things at the thrift store that you can add to your collection. And then also things that have just accumulated over the years that mean a lot. And sometimes when you put them away and pull them back out, it just makes you fall in love and appreciate things that you've had for years. And then in my basement, my bookcases, these used to be up on our main floor. We put them down here, and they're just, you know, kind of memory keepsaking, things that mean a lot, that it's nice to be able to display them. So for example, like those are the Lego roses my husband got me. I had them out for Valentine's Day. They'll stay down here until next year, and then I'll bring them up as a centerpiece. But the vase, that was from other flowers that he gave me. I don't have a lot of those kind. Everything else I have is clear, so it's nice to kind of keep an eye out. You know, more little boxes where all of those keepsakes, pictures, or, you know, those little momentums that you can keep and kind of have them organized makes it a lot easier to go through them and appreciate them. Like little things that, you know, this is like all of my son's treasures. I have more to add here. And I think this is the thing that I really appreciate, is these were my grandmother's. She collected them, and then my mom got them. I played with them when I would go to my grandma's house, and then my daughter would play with them when she went to my mom's house. Yeah, I can replace them and buy them at the thrift store, but they don't have the same meaning. So these are the little things that really makes me appreciate those things that have been in our family for years and years. We don't have a lot of them, but the things that we do have, I just think it makes me appreciate them even more. And if you're new to my channel, this is really what you're going to see a lot of in my videos in 2025. I'm just trying to do a little bit every month. So, you know, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Some of the things I'm trying to work on, how I decorate, you know, things that I accomplished in January and February, just more organization. And that was one of the things, was organized home decor. And that's exactly what I shared with you, is going down, you know, having those little staples to decorate or freshen up my space whenever I just feel like I need to change things up. And the March goals, my kitchen declutter, so I can actually stroke some of these things off that I've been working on. Closets and clothes, and then decluttering, and then my thrifting wish list. So I just kind of put general items, so the small items, the puzzles, the clothes, the napkin holder, vases, baskets, the blankets for the ottoman, and then these are the more specific items, so the Born to Serve mug, the coffee maker, my son's blanket, then the Pioneer Woman tablecloth, dishes, and then the 3 cookbooks that I don't have. So at least I know exactly what I'm looking for now. Like before, I'd always kind of like, oh, is there any Pioneer Woman cookbooks? But now I know that there's 3 of them that are missing from my collection. So it's nice to have a little bit of a wish list. So as I'm thrifting, I'm also remembering about clutter. What are the things that I am getting rid of? And it really helps me too to be very mindful about what I bring into my home. So I know this seems like a lot of work, but honestly, I think in the long run, it will help me to avoid purchasing things that are just going to end up cluttering our home instead of bringing us joy. I thought we'd close up this video with a little chat, and the pieces are definitely coming together. You know, in February, I really wanted to focus on our storage room. I'm starting to declutter it. It takes time. You accumulate things. Some things have a lot of sentimental meaning. Some things you want to store properly to enjoy for years to come, or whatever the future holds for your families. And then there's times where you got to say goodbye to something, and it's just about doing it, you know, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, you know, whatever you feel like you're in the right state of mind to do it, because you don't want to get rid of something that you're going to regret. And I think, you know, having that little space in my basement whenever I want to freshen up, you know, a little area of my home, that's really what my goal is. And last week when I bought a new tray that I'm going to use for years to come, it was really nice to go around my home and, you know, take a couple of little things from here and there and freshen up the space. And same with decluttering my, you know, my shelves there. I have a little basket that I can kind of put all that junk in there, so whenever I'm looking for something, it's in there, or when stuff starts to kind of get dumped on the counter and I just want to do a quick tidy, I can put it in the basket. And I just have to make sure that I declutter it, you know, once a week or once a month, or whenever I feel like it's starting to get out of hand. But it's always easier to do it once a week before it gets to be too much, and then you're not overwhelming yourself. And I think, you know, over the years when I was thrifting, I used to get a lot of clothes, especially when the kids were younger and they were growing out of things quickly. I was able to get things that were whatever brand name or whatever was in style. I got really lucky. Now I don't spend a lot of time with clothes. It's just not something I feel is worth my time. I can get good quality stuff shopping the sales, clearance, or going to the outlet stores. And there's some things that I just find the quality is not the same with what they make now, especially t-shirts and certain things that I feel is worth looking in the clothes section. But I think the biggest thing I realized whenever I was thrifting the other day and I saw that little leprechaun and I put it in my cart, and whenever I thrift, I walk around the store, and before I go to leave, I always kind of double check to make sure that it's something I want to bring in my home and it's not something I'm going to end up like donating, you know, a couple of weeks later. And when I looked at that leprechaun after not finding anything else in the store and looking at a lot of stuff that just wasn't good quality, wasn't in good condition, I really appreciated it because I saw that it was from Michael's. And I just find the things that are in the stores right now, it's just not the same quality. I can't find anything in the stores now to decorate like my little tiered trays. Like a lot of it is just kind of what everybody else decorates with, and I really want things to be pulled out from year to year and kind of be like, oh, this is really cute. Like they don't make things like that anymore. And I think that's really what I took away from, you know, putting this video together and just kind of going through my own things and really seeing what I want to look for whenever I'm thrifting. So, you know, things are changing and I still want to go thrifting, but I think having a little bit of a wish list is a good thing to have, because I remember the day that I just found that Pioneer Woman pie plate. It brought me a lot of joy, and I'm always hoping that I find something else like that. I haven't had any luck, but it's always nice to look, and when you do find those things that are on your wish list, it's even more satisfying to finally know that you found something that you were looking for. And I also know that I only need 3 Pioneer Woman cookbooks, and I know exactly the ones that I'm looking for now. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I still enjoy thrifting, but I just want to be very mindful with what I bring into my home and just take the time to make sure that I don't buy something that I'm going to regret and then just end up donating it right back. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you want to follow along, comment, like, subscribe, and you'll see about how I try and continue to put the pieces together in 2025.